travel essentials and also give you 10 tips and tricks of things that I learned literally the hard way. I wasted lots of time and money learning those things, so I want to share with you my experience so you don't make the same mistakes as me. And this is coming from someone that until last year used to travel every month. This video is in collaboration with Miniso, which is a Japanese inspired lifestyle store, and they also have lots of products for traveling that are all versatile, inexpensive and practical. Did I also say that they're very budget friendly but also high quality, and we love this on this channel. Let's start with the things that you can do in advance before you actually go traveling. First of all, you should totally use Skyscanner, and I feel like not enough people know about this website, and it has just saved me so much money you can't even imagine. It gives you all the options which you can use of all airlines and all flights of your destination. You can also say that you're flexible with your date, and it will show you the cheapest date in which you can travel. Or what I actually usually do is, if you're not sure where you travel and it's like 2021 and you would literally go anywhere as long as you're not staying home, you can choose here to search everywhere, and then it will show you the cheapest destinations for your chosen dates or period of time. Number 2, this is more on the safety side, and I hope my mom is actually proud that I'm saying this, but you should totally make a photocopy of your passport, or just take a photo and keep it on your phone. If you lose your passport or unfortunately you get robbed, won't be in trouble, because at least you will be able to go back home. And if you actually like this video and you find it useful, don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you in my small little community. Love you all! You should always have 2 different documents in 2 different places. I usually bring with me my passport that I keep in my backpack, and also my ID card that it's usually in my handbag. In this way, in case something happens with my handbag, I still have with me another document which I can use to go back home. Another important tip which I kind of learned the hard way is that you should always let your bank know that you're traveling. Last year my card got blocked when I was in New York, and because of the time difference and because it was Saturday, I had to wait until Monday to call my bank and get it unblocked. So trust me, you don't want to be in this situation. Always make sure you alert them, plus it takes you like literally 1 minute to do it. And next tip on things that you can do in advance is to download Google Maps for the city where you'll be going. If you're traveling internationally, you don't want to use all your data for Google Maps all the time, because it's quite expensive, let's be honest. Plus it takes more battery if you're using your 4G. What I do instead is I download the map of the city on Google Maps, and in this way you can also use it offline. Just keep in mind that usually maps are quite heavy, so you might need to free up your phone, but it's totally worth it, because in this way you could be sure that you won't get lost at any point, or even if you finish your data, you can still manage to go back to your hotel. Something else that you can do in advance is download both Uber, Lyft or any other app that is used in the area, and before you book you can always quickly compare prices. My next tip is to always travel on Wednesdays. Like, don't ask me why, but when you go to Skyscanner you will actually realize that the cheapest prices are on Wednesday. And of course, if you have the time to do it, definitely do that. Flights usually cost like half of what they do during the weekend. Make the most out of your layovers. This is not for everyone. Like, for example, Ben really hates it. But what I love doing is, when you have the option to choose a layover, don't necessarily go directly with the one with the shortest amount of time. You can always choose one which is like 24 hours or even more, and in this way you can visit another city during your layover. For example, when I was traveling from Milan to Sofia, I chose an extra stop in Rome so I can also have an entire day to visit Rome on my own, and it didn't cost pretty much anything. Never to take cash out of the airport, and this is a super huge tip. If you ever need local currency, make sure you have some cash before you actually arrive, because usually those change bureaus at the airport have a super high commission. Never book the cheapest flight before actually checking, because for example, if your flight is very early in the morning, then you might need to get a cab to get to the airport, or you, for example, take the first bus at like 4 a.m. Yeah, you don't want to do this to yourself. Sometimes here, at least in Europe, the low-cost airlines don't include within the price your carry-on luggage, so you have to pay extra for it, and many times British Airways or other flight companies might end up being cheaper than the super low-cost ones. And now let me actually show you all my travel essentials and things that I got from the store of Miniso, and the ones that I really suggest you getting as well, because they would just make your life easier, plus they're super budget friendly. And this might come a little bit as a surprise. Whenever I plan my holiday, I love writing things down. In some way, it makes it feel more kind of real. So for example, for my next holiday, I have already writing what I'm planning to do, the places that I want to go, restaurants, or any information that I gather from articles, books, or YouTube videos. I make sure to write it down so I have it all saved into one place. If you're more of a digital person and you like putting everything onto your phone, which it's also quite convenient, but from my experience I usually tend to run out of battery, so I make sure I have a power bank with me. And this one that I got, it's also quite cute and it's actually super light. Also has two plugs, so I can both charge my camera and my phone at the same time, or Ben can steal it from me because he never brings his own. Let's talk about organizing your suitcase, especially if you're traveling with a carry-on. I recently got from Miniso this travel bag. You know how when you're traveling only with a carry-on, you can bring up to 100 milliliters of liquids, which is so annoying, especially for us girls with long hair, is that you can never bring your conditioner or shampoo with you, and you're either kind of stuck with the bad ones at the hotel, or you have to buy those small ones, which are always super overpriced. So what you can do instead is get those small bottles that cost like £2. For example, this small one, I have this super big micellar water, which there's no way I can bring because it's like half a liter, and instead I'm going to pour it inside here. You know how big is the hairbrush, or at least mine is enormous, and I usually travel with it, but now I'm so excited to be traveling with this one. Look at it, it's so compact, I can literally put it in my handbag. It's quite a big of a difference. The next product which I'm going to show you, it's really essential and I've been looking for it for quite a lot of time. Small foldable backpack. Look at it. This small thing, it's also quite thin. There is a whole backpack inside. You can use every day, and you can put inside your water bottle, your food, or any extra things that you buy during your holiday. You can use one of these organizers that are super useful, and you can even like put them like that hanging. It's also super compact. I actually also got one for Ben because I want him to start organizing his suitcase, and because it's that useful.
I don't want to.
You guys, you might think that I'm a little bit crazy, but I just have to show you this tip. One of the most important things which I do before actually heading to the airport is to prepare my food, especially for long journeys. I never leave without actually having a proper meal with me, because we all know how expensive food can be at the airport, and I just don't want to be spending so much money. Look how cute and compact meal box I found, which is actually on a couple of levels. On the first level I have lots of measured dates, pumpkin seeds, and also oatmeal. You also have chopsticks, which maybe I'm not gonna be using for the oatmeal, let's be fair, but if you have some rice in there, or if you have packed literally anything else but an oatmeal, you can have it with those chopsticks. You can also bring your small cutlery with you, like this is a cactus one. I always bring a bottle of water with me because it's super compact, it's sustainable, and you save money, and let's be honest, we all love those things. And if you actually like this video and you find it useful, don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you in my small little community. Love you all! Bye! And now, the only thing that we're hoping for is that our flight isn't actually cancelled in 2 weeks.
This is going to be what's in my purse for travel. So basically the things that I always travel with. I have a really big bag, and we're not going to act nonchalant about this bag like it's not super expensive. It is, I know, but it's the only bag that I will ever have that's this big, that is this expensive. Don't feel like you need to go out and buy this bag just because I have it. This is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull. It's big. This is the biggest one they have. They have smaller sizes, of course, but I went with the super huge one because I like it personally for traveling. It'll be multi-purpose. Quite honestly, it's never full. I could put a whole change of clothes and some shoes in here if I wanted to. In fact, I do have shoes in here. So it is truly never full. It is a great investment. If you are not on the, you know, designer train, I use this bag. This is my gym bag, but I also use it as an overnight bag as well. This is from Victoria's Secret Pink. It was like 30 bucks, and it's a great overnight bag. But this is also the perfect size to carry on the plane because it's easily stowable underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin. So it allows for you to fit a lot of stuff in it without you having to check a bag. So I like this for overnighting, and when I don't want to take my super huge Neverfull, I carry this instead. Let's go ahead and get started with what's on the inside. So first thing I see on top here, I have some snacks. I always keep my snacks on top, and whenever you go to the airport you can't have any liquids, so I always take dry goods with me, and I had a cup of the instant oatmeal from Quaker, but I ate it. This is the Pure Apple Chips by Graze. And if you guys didn't know, I've done a video on Graze subscription boxes before, but Graze does offer snacks individually. So instead of having to get a subscription box to get your favorites, you can just order the individual snacks by themselves as well now on their website. If you did ever try their subscription box service and you liked any of the snacks, but you don't want to stick to getting the subscription service every month, you can just get the snacks. I have a whole pantry full of these snacks now. I also have the brownie cookies and the kernel popcorn ones. No GMO, no artificial colors, artificial flavors, no preservatives, things like that. I love stuff like that because you guys know I'm trying to eat clean to keep my skin nice and beautiful and just stay healthy overall. So having healthy snacks with me is always a must. I do have a coupon code in the description box for Graze if you guys would like to check out any of the snacks that they have on the site and try them for yourselves. Like I said, no subscription needed. You can now buy their snacks when you please. I feel like every time I say snack, I think of like Oscar Proud. Oscar Proud snacks. This is my toiletry bag that I take with me on the plane. Usually what I like to do is I like to take the things that I know I'm gonna need right away, and I don't want to have to go through my carry-on bag to dig it up out of my luggage and get whatever I needed. So I like to keep stuff like lip gloss. I have a small body oil, I have my SPF sunscreen, which is the Dream Screen by Benefit. And I usually keep a moisturizer in here, but I think I put my moisturizer in my carry-on. But I do like to carry my face moisturizer with me because I don't like to get dry on the plane because that breaks my face out. So I try to keep my face extra moisturized as much as possible because I don't want to break out on the plane. Even though I still broke out anyways. I also have my fragrance in here, my favorite fragrance right now as of late. This is the Cell Ocean perfume, and this is a little 1 ounce bottle of perfume from Urban Outfitters. You guys, this smells so good. Oh my god, I love this perfume so much. It smells so good. It smells like Sexy Beach. This is the Glossier Balm.com. I use this on my lips, but I can also use this on any part of my body if I feel extra dry on any part of my body. I like to use this for that. I also have a brow pencil in here that I just ran out of, but this is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. And I also have my Cover FX Perfect Pencil, just in case I need to touch up my makeup at any point during the day. I usually don't wear makeup on the plane, but if I do need to do my makeup, I have little touch-up stuff in here. So that's what's in my little travel toiletry bag. I have my sunglasses. These are, what are these? These are my brown sunglasses from Sorella Boutique. And I always have a pair of sunglasses in here because, I mean, we gotta stay fly. Oh, boarding pass. I have my Beats headphones in here, and these are the Beats Solo Wireless. And they are the rose gold color, of course, to match my rose gold watch and my rose gold phone. So we're just all rose gold up. Yeah, so I keep that and the cord just in case they die on me. I mean, the battery charge lasts forever though. I charged it once and I used the headphones the whole plane ride to and from Florida, which is 3 hours. So that's a pretty good charge if you ask me. And I have a hat in here. This is the Girls Tour hat, and this is from Sorella Boutique as well. I like to keep hats just because you never know if it's gonna start raining or something, and because I have no hair now, I love to wear dad hats. So I like to keep a hat with me just in case, because you never know on your trip if you're gonna need one or not. I also like to keep a sweater or a jacket with me in my purse if I'm not wearing it. I think the day that I was traveling with this purse, I was wearing a jacket, so I didn't need to put it in my bag. I do carry a jacket with me or a sweater or some kind of cover up at all times because you know it'd be cold on that plane. I love to keep wipes with me, so I have Cottonelle wipes. These are for the booty, and disinfectant wipes for the hotel or wherever I'm gonna be staying. If I have to go to the bathroom on the plane, I take these wipes with me. I use this to open the door and to flush the toilet. I don't touch anything in the airplane bathroom, y'all. It's disgusting. It's gross. It's like being in a little box of fecal matter. I can't. I don't even breathe when I go to the bathroom on the airplane, okay? And I make sure to take my wipes with me because you never know. I ain't got time. Zika virus is floating around. I don't need this. So this is a Sephora bag, and it's full of plugs and cables and chargers and all kinds of good stuff that I need for my electronics. This is a charger that I got from Urban Outfitters. It's like a little marble charger. It's super slim, so I can put it in my clutch. And I have this extra long cable. And then I have like my charger for my Apple Watch, my charger for my phone, charger booties. And then I have my charger for my camera, which is broke right now because I broke it. Getting it fixed, so no worries. That's why we're on the big camera today. Hopefully I'm in focus because this doesn't autofocus, so we're trying our best. And I have a small lotion in here. This is the Nivea Daily Moisture Shea Butter Lotion. This is my emergency bag, and it's bright pink, so just in case I need something in here, I can reach down and touch somebody's hand. It's an old Ipsy bag, I think. I have so many Ipsy bags. And of course it's got my feminine goods, so if Flo decides to visit. We've got some Flo products in here. Got some emergency. I've got my ginger chews. You guys know I love my ginger chews. Those are good for nausea and motion sickness. Nail file and a little thing of deodorant. If you do get oily when you ride on planes, that's because your skin is trying to combat the lack of good oxygen. So if you do get oily, the best thing to do would be to blot off the excess oil so your pores do not get clogged and you don't break out. Before I was keeping my jewelry in my carry-on, and when they would check my carry-on, they would have to literally go through the whole thing to figure out why it was triggering some kind of alarm. Apparently, all of my jewelry is pointy and sharp and could harm someone. So I have to keep this in my purse just in case they want to take it out. But this is all of my jewelry. I have it in an ASOS box. Hoops and my necklaces and my bracelets, all of that in here. So if they ask me, I can take it out and show them. I'm not trying to kill nobody, I promise. This comes with a Neverfull. So if you buy a Neverfull bag, you do get a free clutch bag to go with it. And I keep this as my wallet, but I also keep stuff in it, and this is like the clutch that I carry literally everywhere. You guys seen this in my pictures. This is all I ever carry with me. It's got lip gloss in here, oil blotting tissues, my Blotterazzi for my face, my makeup when I'm wearing makeup. I have some Nivea cream in here. I have some tissues, my Scentbird scent. I have all my cards, debit cards, things of that nature. If I'm wearing a jacket or something or in my jeans, I keep my ID with me because I know they're gonna ask me for it. There's an inside pocket right here, and in here I keep my Poo-Pourri spray. I love to spray this in the toilet before I use the bathroom because I absolutely hate the smell of stanky toilet, okay? So this makes it smell like lavender vanilla. We Gucci. In here I also keep extra pair of headphones, my business cards, and I have a face mask for the plane just in case my skin gets super dry and I need to moisturize and stuff. A sheet mask is a good way to keep your skin happy on the plane. It doesn't need to be rinsed off. I keep these slides in my purse just in case my feet start hurting and I want to just wear some slides around the airport or on the plane. And of course I use these when I get to the hotel because it's nasty on the floor. You don't want to walk on the floor with your bare feet.
If you're traveling by air, you need to know about the TSA liquids rule, also known as the 311 rule. This pertains to liquids that are packed in carry-on luggage. This does not pertain to checked bag luggage. So if you're planning to travel with only like a carry-on handbag, then you need to stick around and watch this video. So I'm a big component to traveling light. I only travel with a carry-on. With plenty of trips under my belt and dealing with airports a lot, I've really had to master this TSA rule. So I'm going to be answering the most common questions to the TSA liquids rule and the powder rule because there are now limits to the different types of powders that can be brought with you on a flight. And don't worry, it's really not as hard as you may think. It's actually really easy once you understand it. But you might have a few things that pop up like, is this the right size container? Is this a liquid or is this considered a solid? So we're going to go through all that today. And be sure to stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to give you a little tidbit on something that you can do to allow yourself even more liquids than you might be able to fit into a quart size bag. Okay, so what is the 311 rule? The 3 stands for all liquids that you plan on bringing with you in your carry-on must be under 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters. So all bottles must be under 3.4 ounces or less, and that's going to be for all liquids, creams, aerosols, and gels. So anything that fits into those descriptions, that's going to fall under the 311 rule. 1. That means that all of your 3.4 ounce bottles must fit into 1 quart-sized clear bag. 1. That means that all people are allowed 1 bag each. 3.4 ounce bottles in 1 quart size bag and 1 bag per person. So make sure that this bag is easily accessible because you will have to pull this bag out once you get to the security checkpoints and put it in the bins for scanning. If your luggage goes through the scanner and there's liquids moving around in there and you didn't pull out your little baggie, they're gonna search your bag. They are strict with the rules. Make sure everything is in your quart size bag, everything's sealed tight in your 3.4 ounce bottles, and you only have 1 bag, and you will be fine. Now, if you have items that are larger than 3.4 ounces and you have a checked bag, those have to go in the checked bag. So anything over 3.4 ounces must go in a checked bag. You cannot bring anything through that's over 3.4 ounces. There is not a specific number of how many bottles you can put in your bag. There is no limit as long as they're in the correct size bottles, and you can fit as many bottles in this bag as you possibly can. But again, stick around to the end because I have a little tidbit on all this. TSA only allows 1 bag per person. So if there's anything that is over 3.4 ounces and or you cannot fit it in that bag, that needs to go in your checked luggage. So if you're checking luggage, You can put any size liquids in the checked luggage, but not for carry-on luggage. So if you plan on only traveling with a carry-on, you're gonna have to master this rule. Be sure to narrow down all your items, get them in the appropriate size bottles and bags, and you will be all set. TSA has now implemented a powders rule. So any powders that are under 12 ounces, those can go in your carry-on bag. Typically you won't have additional screening for powders under 12 ounces. For example, powdered makeups and stuff, you won't have issues with those unless they see something funky on the screening process, of course. However, if you have more powders, such as maybe you're carrying protein powders or detergents or something that might be a larger volume than that, you can still bring that. However, they're gonna have to do additional screening. So if you have any powders that are over the 12 ounces, you're gonna pull it out just like you would your liquids bag. I recommend, if it's possible, keep it in its original case. If not, know that you will probably have additional screening, and don't be surprised if they confiscate it and you're not gonna get that back. You can definitely try, but it could definitely be confiscated. So if you have like protein powders or some type of baby powders in larger volumes or something, and you don't want it to be confiscated, then I would say put it in your check bag. They are trying to get people to bring those larger powders into check bags. So again, if you're only traveling with a carry-on, you would have to worry about that more. Otherwise, just put everything in your check bag and you should be fine. Now there are a few items that are exempt from the liquids rule, and that is medications. So any liquids that are in liquid form or paste form or gel form, and if it's over the 3.4 ounces, you can definitely take that with you. However, you're gonna have to pull it out. I recommend, again, keeping it in its original packaging if possible, and have the prescription label with you so you can prove that it is for medical reasons, because TSA will have to do additional screenings on that medication. Also, different ice packs or partially frozen items that are required to keep that medication cold, that's okay as well. Plus, other items that are medical necessities that are kind of involved with that would be like IV bags, pumps, and like syringes. So again, yes, if it's medical, it can be brought through security and or over the liquids rule, but just know it will have additional screening. And if you have any type of medication that maybe isn't allowed to go through a scanner, be sure to let the TSA officer know that, and they will screen it separately. The other exemption to the liquids rule is breast milk and formula. Again, these items just need to be placed separately into the bin. You don't have to have your child with you to prove that this is breast milk. That's not required, but it will have to be screened separately if you have larger amounts of breast milk or formula that are over the 3.4 ounces. So on TSA's website, they have a really great search tool that's right on their website. You can go in there if there's a specific item that you're just not sure what this is really considered. Is it a solid? Is it a gel? Or what it is? However, I'm gonna just go over some of the top items that I get asked about a lot. So again, be sure to go to the TSA's website directly, and you can definitely search out other items that you may have questions about. All of your basic toiletry items are allowed onto your carry-on luggage. So shampoos, conditioners, mouthwash, facial cleansers, whatever, your standard toiletry items, those are allowed. And you are also allowed to have a razor and tweezers. So again, that is okay to have those in your toiletry items bag. Deodorants come in lots of different types of forms. So you got solids, you got the gels, and then you got aerosol deodorants. If you have solid deodorant, that does not have to go in your bag. So if you are one that uses like a gel-based deodorant and or an aerosol, then yes, you will have to pack it. So maybe for your travels, you should maybe think about possibly doing a solid deodorant, and then you don't have to worry about fitting that and taking up space in this bag. Bar soap is not considered a liquid, so you can definitely, again, like the deodorant, you can put that in your regular luggage. It's as long as it's in a solid form, you don't have to worry about putting that in your liquids bag. Toothpaste is considered a liquid because it's more gel-like. So yes, be sure to put your toothpaste into your liquids bag. I've done it myself. I forgot to put my toothpaste in my bag. I was actually in Paris when this happened, and they pulled me aside and went through all my luggage, tore it completely apart just for my little container of toothpaste. Yeah, don't make that mistake. Wet wipes, baby wipe, cleaning wipes, facial wipes, whatever type of wipes you have, those are not considered liquids by TSA. That can all be packed separately. You don't have to worry about putting that into your TSA bag. Yes, mascara is considered a liquid when you are traveling, so be sure to separate that out and put that in your liquids bag because it's gel-based. That would apply for the liquids rule. And that also goes for any liquid foundations, liquid creams, whatever type of makeup that you have that's more liquid, gel, or paste form, that would have to be applied to the liquids rule and must go in your quart size bag. Solid chapsticks or lip balms are not considered a liquid and are not required to go in the bag. However, if you have a gel-based chapstick, such as Vaseline, or there's like Carmex, I know those come in more liquid forms or gel forms, then yes, those would have to go into the liquid bag. Now, as I mentioned, TSA has a really great search tool. If there's an item not listed on their website that you have questions about, you are now able to ask TSA on Twitter and or on Facebook. So all you have to do is snap a photo of the item that you have a question about and send it to them on Facebook or Twitter, and they will answer it for you. Okay, so now I'm going to go over some different travel tips. I have mentioned some of these travel tips in my other video. However, I'm going to just go over them again. First off, I'm going to go back to toothpaste. So these are like your typical size toothpaste that you might find in the travel section area of stores, right? Now these little guys are really small. Now, you can go buy larger sizes of toothpaste. They make toothpaste that is under the 3.4 ounces that are in larger form. So you don't have to go spend $1 on this little guy when you can go get a large one that is under 3.4 ounces, and that's like maybe $1.50 or something. That way you'll have more toothpaste and it will last you a lot longer than those little guys. Also, be sure to check your different bottles that you have your makeup and or hair products in, because this is a standard size bottle for like this hair serum that I use, and this is exactly a 3.4 ounce bottle, so I don't have to condense this. So just be sure to check the ounces on all your products, because sometimes you don't have to condense them down into the 3.4 ounce bottles. Now, if you're like me and you like to have water, now remember, you cannot bring bottled water through if it's over the 3.4 ounces. However, you can bring frozen, solid frozen waters through. So you can keep that in mind, or you can do what I do. I just bring an empty water bottle with me, and once I get through security, I go to the drinking fountain and I go fill it up. Now remember, when you're traveling, however, be sure that the water fountains in the water of the country is okay and safe to drink. Typically, I usually fill up in, USA airports before I get on my flight. And last but not least, and my final tip I have for you guys is, if these little quart size bags are just not big enough and you have a few other liquids you need to fit, do what I do. Get this TSA approved liquids bag. They are on Amazon. The best invention ever. Look how big this is compared to this bag. So you have, look how deep that is. It's clear all the way around. You can stuff, look at all the liquids in this baggie compared to this, even though I haven't filled this one up. But you can get a lot more liquids in. It's more room to stuff littler bottles in. It has a zipper that goes all the way around, so it's completely closed. And it's clear, so TSA can identify all the products that are in your bag. I have went to Asia, Europe, throughout the US. Yeah, I've never had any issues using this, so I highly recommend it. It's an awesome bag to travel with, and you can fit so many more liquids in it.
Excuse us. What's this one's name anyway? Aa bir de bakacak dile, bu da bak. Bak böyle bak.
And I am a San Diego native. I grew up coming to this zoo every single year as a kid.
Is a foot and a half long, which you'll find out once you feed a giraffe today if you go through that. They're also dark in color.
What's that big black thing?
We're gonna go look and read the sign.
Big black thing.
Tapers, yeah, they are tapers. Did you know that? And they are also part of our endangered species reading.
We should open the zoo at night. Yeah, that would be interesting. Like low-level lights. Stand up. They're guanacos. We saw these earlier. You can stand up on there now. It's okay. No, you can stand up on there too. That is a little like deer. Dwarf market.
Most of some of the animals that you met here in our show.
You get a chance to go to the Wild Animal Park down in Green.
This is an animal that legend states. If you see one here, and we're going to ask Kylo to perform a quick little flight for us. When he's going to shake remain seated, this is Kylo of the Town Hall. Good job, Kylo.
Come on out.
It's over there. It's over there. Come on. That's him. That black rock is him. Girl, their bottoms look like a zebra. Caribbean. What do you think he said?
And they're also part of our endangered species breeding.
We should open the zoo at night. Yeah, that would be interesting. Like low-level lights. Stand up. They're guanacos. We saw these earlier. Stand. You can stand up on there now. It's okay. Oh, those are two over there. Did you know that, guys? Oh, they're so cute.
Okay, this natural light is really not working for me. Unsure of how one films outdoors. Not there. All right, that should be fine. All right, bear with me. The sun's kind of going down a little bit. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. Okay, back to the script, Kelsey. My first tip for traveling during COVID is to actually contract COVID, so then you have the antibodies and you'll be less nervous about traveling. I'm kidding. Please don't do that. My actual first tip is to not travel at all. The number one thing that you can do during COVID is to not travel at all. If you don't feel comfortable traveling, then you shouldn't travel. If you think you might have COVID, or you think you are going to be visiting someone that might have COVID or has had COVID in the past, and you're probably thinking, Kelsey, the pandemic is not over. Why the fuck are you going to Florida? That is extremely irresponsible of you. Well, let me tell you. My answer to that is, you are 100% correct. I am a piece of shit. No one should be traveling at all, really. If you don't feel comfortable, or if you think you can live without your all-inclusive resort package in Tulum for just a couple more months, then just reschedule it. Most hotels and airlines are offering full refunds, so if you do end up wanting to change your travel plans and you don't feel comfortable going, or you don't think it's responsible of you to go, then just postpone it. You don't need to worry about losing money on trips that you planned months or even years ago. The sun is really in my face. Do I have to keep changing location every tip? And this is why we don't film outside, folks. This is not a controlled environment. I'm also trespassing on private property, so. Now, for the rest of you who are actually watching this video because you're trying to travel during COVID and you don't care about the world and you think you're also an irresponsible piece of shit just like me, then these next tips are all for you. When deciding where to take your trip, it is really important that you check local and federal guidelines. You might need a vaccine to travel to certain places. You might need a negative COVID test to travel certain places. You might not physically be able to travel to places that are on restricted lists, such as red zones or places that have a high spike in cases. Or if you're coming from a high-risk place, those states might not let you in. Yes, mother? Yeah, I'll eat when I get back. That was the momager. Okay, how many more interruptions can we take during this video? It's fun. So yeah, check your state or local guidelines. For example, I live in New York, and during the peak of the pandemic, we were allowed to travel to places like New Jersey, Connecticut, Vermont. Those are places relatively in the same geographical location as New York. Obviously, if you have access to a map, you can see that is true. And you can go to those places safely without having a 2-week quarantine or a negative COVID test, yada yada. Another thing that you might not have thought about is if there's any paperwork you need to fill out before traveling places. This is mostly for when you're traveling internationally. I know we can't really travel to Europe right now, but there are some countries that we are allowed to travel to, and even if you're going for business, a lot of the times we'll have certain paperwork that you need to fill out both for your home country or for the country that you're going to. Basically, these are just lists that say you have not been in contact with anyone, basically all of your information. This is really important for contact tracing. I've had to fill a couple of these papers out on previous trips I took last year in 2020, so double check that. Moose, where are we headed?
Moosey, to the beach.
Ruff! Nicole, where are we headed?
To the dog beach.
Alright, this was an anticlimactic intro. My third tip is to plan out a detailed itinerary. A lot of things are closed right now, so planning out a detailed itinerary is really gonna make sure that you have a more enjoyable trip. Research COVID-safe activities like outdoor activities, maybe outdoor tours, outdoor dining, maybe a museum that is running at half capacity. And yes, you can be the kind of person that doesn't like to plan out your trip and you just like to go and wing it and have fun. And you can totally do that. If you are headed for a relaxing beach vacation, then no, you definitely don't need to plan out a full itinerary. But if you do plan to go out and explore the place that you're traveling to, you are going to be disappointed if you don't search ahead of time. Even places like special restaurants you want to go to, a lot of places are taking reservations and things are getting booked up so quickly these days. So even something as simple as making a dinner reservation or a tour reservation is really gonna make your trip flow a lot smoother and avoid you running into any speed bumps. And this is also a great way to support local businesses. This sun is fucking in my face. And it's also a great way to support local businesses, local restaurants. Oh, this is better actually, okay. Okay, what tip am I on? Tip number 4, choose a safe housing location. If you're staying with a friend like I did, then it is totally acceptable and you should not be embarrassed about asking them if they're gonna quarantine before you come, if they've been exposed to anyone, or even just asking them about their quarantine habits in general. It's you being responsible, both for yourself and for your friend. And they might even ask you to quarantine for some time before you come visit them. Yes, you can stay at hotels, but I just always would feel more comfortable staying with someone who I actually know who they are. I kind of know what their quarantine habits or their ideology around COVID is, which makes me feel a lot more comfortable. And I don't really know who's coming in and out of hotels, so I just always would recommend staying with someone that you trust, or getting an Airbnb where you know that you are the only person coming in and out of that room or that house. If you do want to stay at a hotel, or if you have to stay at a hotel, call up the hotel and ask them what their COVID precautions have been. Are they doing extra cleanings? Are they providing sanitizing wipes? Are they providing hand sanitizers in all of their lobbies? Are they also running at half capacity? Are they running at full capacity? You can definitely call these hotels and ask them what their COVID precautions are and what they're doing to ensure your safety during your stay. I already kind of mentioned this before, but my next tip is checking for cancellation and refund policies. Almost all hotels, resorts, airlines are giving full refunds if you've booked a trip up to a certain point in 2021. So if you do end up booking your trip and then needing to cancel it, more likely than not, you will be able to get a refund. But I would 100% double check this. Not everyone is doing that. So just ensure that they have this refund policy before you book anything, just to be safe. Even if you don't think that you're gonna cancel, I mean, stranger things have happened, and they continue to happen. Next, call your airline and ask what kind of precautions that they're taking. I've been on flights in the past year where it was packed to the max, like seriously every single seat was taken up, and I've also been on flights where I've had 6 rows to myself. I would definitely not assume that every flight is going to have wiggle room. Most airlines have kind of nixed the rule where they're leaving the middle seat open, so more likely than not you are going to be on a packed flight. If you don't feel comfortable with that, call your airline, or maybe choose an airline that is still doing that social distancing precaution. They do say on airlines that the air filtration system does circulate the air every couple of minutes. I don't really want to get too much into it because I am not an airplane scientist, but again, you can call your airline and they can give you more details on the precautions that they're taking. Tip number 7 is if you don't feel comfortable flying, then consider alternate modes of transportation. Instead of flying, can you drive somewhere? Can you take a bus or a train? You know, a train might be significantly less packed than an airplane. This is also something to consider when you're planning on where you want to take a trip to. If you know that you don't feel comfortable flying yet, then maybe planning a trip that is a little bit closer to home will allow you that flexibility of how you're gonna get there.
It is. Here, just do a little like you're walking and then turn around.
Break it down. Break it down. Now, before you leave for your trip, these are a couple of tips I have for you. Get tested and quarantine before you leave. As of the time that I went online and researched this material, the CDC recommends that you get tested 1 to 3 days before your travel date. Look at people riding around in a like tractor mower. Hi. Hi, how are you? Good. That's an interesting cart. And this is why I can't get anything done. I just want to make it known that literally every person on Long Island has a pickup truck, and I just really don't get it, because what are you picking up? The answer is nothing. Do not travel if you have any kind of symptoms, whether that be a cough, a cold, a sneeze, a scratch. Literally any kind of symptom at this point can be a COVID symptom according to the internet. And I know when I had COVID, at first I thought I was just having seasonal allergies. I thought I was just having a bad cold, and it turns out I had COVID. So don't take this lightly. If you have any symptoms at all, please consider not traveling at all. Bring adequate supplies. This is not just important for your flight if you are taking a plane, but just in general to have with you during your trip. Get a proper mask and bring multiple. I know a lot of people like to wear the cloth masks, but, oh, hi. I have an audience today. It's like someone sees a girl standing by herself with a camera and like everyone needs to flock to her. I guess I'm just that fabulous, what can I say? I know a lot of people like to wear the cloth masks. They're a little bit more comfortable, but they do not work as well as the surgical masks. If you only have cloth masks, I would suggest doubling them up at minimum. What I will do is I will wear a cloth mask on my actual face because it is more comfortable, and then I will take a surgical mask and I will layer that on top of it. I feel like the surgical mask is the actual thing that's going to repel any moisture and repel those nasty little germs, but it also gives that double layer of protection. And here the tractor people are coming back.
It's better than golf carts. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's nice. I gotta get one. I can't get anything done and the sun's going down. This is great. This might be self-explanatory, but have hand sanitizer on you. Anything you touch, just sanitize it up. Any chance you get, just clean your hands, wash your hands. If you want, you could bring gloves on the plane, and then those are easy to dispose of after your flight. I always have baby wipes on me when I'm flying because I like to wipe down the seat belt, the arms, like literally everything I touch. Planes are actually really disgusting. And when we're talking about this, I just want to give a PSA. Please do not litter. It is so disgusting to see all of these masks and gloves and supplies just all around the street. It's becoming the new wave of littering is masks in the street and in the water. Ugh, it just really makes me so upset to see. So if you are using disposable masks and gloves, please do not litter. Please throw them out properly. It shouldn't be something that needs to be said, but here I am saying it, and I'm saying it. Just don't be a litter bug. And my final, and I would say one of my most important tips, is to have fun. No, I'm kidding. That's not my last tip. It's to be aware of local rules and regulations, but maintain precaution. Always wear a mask when you're in public places, even if you're traveling to a place like Florida where they don't believe in coronavirus and no one wears masks and there's no local or state regulations on if you can or cannot or should not do that. People like to think of some of these trips as a way to get away from COVID and to avoid the restrictions and to just be a little bit more free in the world. That doesn't change the fact that the virus does not transform or lessen if you go from one place to another place, to my knowledge. And I'm not a scientist here, but I did get a 3 on my AP biology midterm in high school. Well, I almost failed it and I had to get a tutor, but I still, and also the school I went to doesn't accept 3s, they only accept 4, so I actually didn't end up getting the college credit for it, but I still took the class, and I feel like that's not how it works. And that's it. That's all my tips. Now I've got to go eat dinner because my mom called me and she's getting antsy and impatient, so thanks again for watching. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I would say see you next Monday, but I will see you in 2 to 3 weeks when I am a certified interior designer. Okay, bye.
Some consider Venice being the most important tourist destination in the world. So, on your marks, get set, go! A flight should be the easiest way to reach Venice within reasonable time. For example, international connections are available from Montreal and Toronto when flying with a Transat, New York with Delta Airlines, Dubai with Emirates, Moscow with Aeroflot, and Paris, which is connected by Air France. If your plane is approaching Venice from the north, you possibly will be able to enjoy the beautiful Alps panorama right underneath your seat. Depending on your airline, you will either land at the airport of Treviso or the official Marco Polo airport. To reach the city center of Venice, you will have to cross the Ponte della Libertà, a 2.4-mile long road bridge connecting Venice to the mainland in the city of Mestre. As railroad tickets are very affordable in Italy, the St. Lucia train station will be the best entrance to the city. The popularity of Venice has led to high hotel rates, so you better check in on the mainland and choose a 20-minute train ride. Venice is considered to be one of the largest car-free areas. so get ready to discover the variety of water streets, canals, palaces and narrow streets by boat or your own feet. Although this sounds hard, you'll be able to admire scenic views like this one from the Ponte alla Accademia Bridge. The most common mean of transportation is the gondola, and it's well known all over the world. High demand has made the prices for a 40-minute ride rise up to €80 without any kind of music. If you wish to have a little more entertainment, prepare to pay €150 for an all-inclusive package. Welcome to the heart of Venice, the magnificent St. Mark's Square. This principal public place consists out of the main piazza and the small piazzetta, which leads to the open lagoon and the beautiful Palazzo Ducale. This used to be the residence of the supreme authority, the Doge, who resides here until the fall of the Republic in 1797. After stealing the supposed relics of St. Mark the Evangelist during a crusade, Venetian salesmen built up the St. Mark's Basilica, now marking the second highest building, right followed by the St. Mark's Campanile, which overlooks the lagoon with its 323 feet. If you can afford, enjoy a classic coffee at St. Mark's Square for about €6. If you're looking for a nice souvenir, watch out for special drawings with collages of canals and the typical gondolas. Venetian masks, usually worn at the Carnival of Venice, could also hit the bullseye. Venice is entirely surrounded by water, so you're highly recommended to do a boat tour along the Canal Grande at least once while you stay here. If you can't afford a gondola ride, switch over to the water buses called Vaporetti or Bateo by the locals. A single ride on a water bus line will cost you €6.50, so you better choose a flat rate ticket which is available for multiple time periods. When a boat is approaching the station, always check the availability of seats on the upper deck, as the interior view of a water bus may spoil your experience. My special recommendation for you? Ride on the Canal Grande right before sunset towards the Rialto Bridge. Enjoy these pictures. If you can't get enough of typical Venetian sights, have a look at the small island of Murano, which is located about 1 mile north of Venice. It can only be reached by boat, for example the Vaporetto DM line, which connects Murano and the main railway station in about 20 minutes. The small island is well known for its high-quality glassmaking and gaining reputation all over the world for centuries. If you're interested in handcrafted masterpieces and avoid the cheap, crappy fake products, you will find chandeliers and jewelry made of pure glass, as well as glass figures in all shapes within everyone's price range. But nevertheless, also mind the architectural attractions on Murano while strolling along the trails beside the beaten tracks.
everybody, welcome to our Carnival travel tips video. Tip number 1 is going to be make sure you check your bag in, because if you don't check your bag in, you're going to be carrying around everywhere on the elevator. You're going to have to watch your bag. We just have a small purse and we don't have to worry about leaving our bags anywhere or babysitting our bags, and now we could eat.
So they're going to take your luggage to your room and you can enjoy your food and you're not like carrying everything all around the boat.
Yes, tip number 1. Tip number 2 is you have to check out Guy Burger Joint because it is delicious and there's a long line, but it's well worth it. Very, very good. Okay, so we recommend the Cheers package, especially if you're gonna be drinking a lot like we are, hopefully, on this trip. And the Cheers package came out to $368, and you have to let them know that you're part of the Cheers package when they come around and give drinks, because it looks like they're free, it looks like they're complimentary, but they're not. They're gonna charge your room number, okay? And then also, if you get a drink here when you're still at the port, they're gonna charge you a state tax. Make sure before you sail out of the port that you put your phone on airplane mode, because you do not want to get charges from your cell phone company and they're going to charge you an arm and a leg because it's way too much. So make sure you put your phone on airplane mode. If you're looking for your key or your sign and sell card, it's going to be right next to your door. And it's not going to be ready right when you get on the ship if you do get on early, but it will be there eventually, and also with your luggage if you choose to check it in. We ended up getting an ocean view instead of an interior view because it wasn't that much more. It was actually only $80 more. So make sure you ask if they have any promotions or if they got anything going on as far as discounts, and you could get an upgraded room for a fraction of the cost.
Okay, if you guys wondering if they have a hairdryer, it's right here. It's plugged and ready to use. Okay, girls, you can bring your flat iron or your curling iron in this ship, okay? This room has a safe, and you don't need to memorize a number. You just need to bring your card and slide it, and that's it pretty much. Like this. And you need your key again to lock your safe.
Find emergency duty station.
Okay, you guys, when you're getting on a cruise, you gotta make sure you get this fun activities card. This thing has everything. Like the first page, it has all the entertainment stuff and all the activity stuff. Like we have karaoke, we have bingo, we have a dance party, and we just have, the comedy club. It's just all the fun activities that you could do.
It also says which deck is on and which part of the boat is, like front, medium, or all the way in the back, and times. So yeah, don't forget to look for this as soon as you get in your room, and don't forget to go to all the activities and enjoy the activities.
Yes, and you could just plan your day out with this right here, and each day they come out with a whole new one. So today's activities are right here. Tomorrow, be on the lookout for tomorrow's, because they're going to have all new activities. It's mainly the same stuff, but you're going to have different times and just different stuff to do. And there's even movies that you could watch. We have movies. We have the casino, music, spa, drinks, food. This thing has everything. So if you don't want to carry around this paper, you could download the Carnival Hub app, and that's going to also have everything. And you don't need to have a Wi-Fi plan. You could just download it and you could use the Carnival Wi-Fi. So I'm more of a paper guy. I like to look at the times. I got my watch on, so I kind of like doing it this way opposed to looking at the app and just killing my battery on my phone. So no gambling until you're in international waters. So all the machines and tables are shut down until we get out to the international waters. If you're looking to buy something here on the cruise ship, you should probably wait till the last day, because if you're on the first or second day, it's gonna be full price. So just wait till the last day where they have discounts, and that's when you get the best deal. If you guys don't want to spend $9 at the store for a lanyard, you could get a lanyard here at the casino for free of charge, and it's a great deal because you don't spend any money, for free.
Yeah, just ask for it.
Yes, all you have to do is go to the cashier, ask for it, and they'll give you one. I want to talk about the drink package. So the drink package, it's a good deal if you're gonna drink 15 drinks a day. It equals out to $4 per mixed drink. Mixed drink by itself is like $10. So if you do it with the Cheers package, I'm gonna put the drinks on the side so you can see how much each drink is. But it works out to $4 per drink. That's with tip included. If you want to tip them, when they bring you the receipt, you can tip them some more, but that's with tip included.
It's definitely worth it if you guys plan to have a great time and you guys like to drink and you guys are gonna drink more than, let's say, 5 drinks a day. It's definitely worth it.
You guys see if it's worth getting the drink package or the Cheers package. One more thing is, after each drink, you have to wait 5 minutes. So if you're a fast drinker, you have to wait anyways 5 minutes to get your next drink. So one thing about this cruise is you are never gonna starve. They have a lot of food, big variety, whatever you want. You just pick it, go up, put it on your plate, find a seat. That's probably the hardest part of the whole eating process, is finding a seat. Once you find a seat, that's all she wrote. This next one is an adult's tip, because there is jacuzzis that are for kids and adults, but there's some that are adults only. So look out for the adults only if you just want to be hanging out with the adults and drinking. In our case, there is nobody here in the jacuzzi.
We're lucky tonight.
Yes. We got 2 adult jacuzzis, only ones right here. If you guys are interested in working out while you're here at Carnival Cruise, they have a nice gym and they even have an outdoor track where you could walk around. Okay guys, if you're wondering about irons, you cannot bring irons on board. So they do have laundry mats and they provide irons, ironing boards, and there's also washers over here on this side. They got washers and dryers over here on this side, and they also have laundry detergent over here on this side. Depending on your port of call, ours was Nassau, the Bahamas. They're gonna ask you to bring your sail and sign card, which is your room key, and they're also gonna ask you to bring a government issued ID. So I'm from California, I brought my California ID, and we were able to get off the boat and jump back on the boat with our California ID and our room key. I left my passports inside the safe where they should be, and I made a copy of them before I came on my trip, and I just carried that in my pocket with us just in case. But that is our next tip. Make sure you guys pack your formal wear, because there's going to be a fancy dinner night. Depending on how many days your cruise is depending on how many nights there's going to be. Ours is a 3-night cruise. We only get 1 dinner night, but there's cruises that are 7 days and they usually have 2 dinner nights. So the formal dining night is a nice place where you could get dressed. They have a dress code is strictly enforced, so you can't wear no tank tops or flip-flops or any of that good stuff. So you have to be formal dressed to actually enter and get a table. Anything on the menu is included, nothing extra unless otherwise stated. In our case, it says $20 extra, and there's a list of stuff that we cannot pick from unless we want to pay for them.
Other than that, you can order as many appetizers as you want, or as many dishes as you want, because they're really small. So if you're really hungry, you can order maybe 2.
Look how cool it is. We got to watch a movie right here on the deck. They had popcorn, they had drinks, and it was a great time.
Yes, it is.
Before I leave you guys with the last tip, I want to say thanks for watching, and if you have any tips to add on, please add them in the comment box below. And the last tip is just pretty much walk around the boat, just get familiar with it. We found all kinds of stuff just from walking around, and then ask the crew questions if you don't know where something's at, or if you see somebody walking around with coffee and you're like, hey, where's that coffee spot at? Just ask. That's all it is, just ask. Hit that like, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys on the next video.
It's Kimberly and I'm here with a video about Germany while I'm in Thailand. But I seriously get asked a lot of questions from friends back home about traveling around Germany. So I decided I wanted to make a video about mistakes you should not make while you are in Germany. I have seen other people make these mistakes. I have made some of these mistakes and I just don't want to see y'all do it. So what are the 10 mistakes you should not make in Germany? Stay tuned to find out. I've been to Germany on and off now for the past 2 years, and when I go to Germany, I stay there for a hot minute. So here's my list of 10 mistakes you should not make while you are in Germany. Number 1, don't assume all of Germany is the same. I kind of didn't really have a perception of Germany before I went, so I didn't really make this mistake, but I hear a lot of people thinking that all of Germany is like Bavaria, and it's just not. Germany is diverse. Seriously, there are so many different accents in Germany, dialects in Germany. Yes, there is a stereotypical Bavaria, but there's also Hamburg and northern Germany, which is right by the water in the Baltic Sea, and it's beautiful. There's Eastern Germany, and then there's Western Germany. There's Cologne, there's Berlin, and it's all very different. It's all so different, so it's hard to put Germany really in this box because it is incredibly diverse. So definitely, if you have the time, get to know all of Germany as much as you can, and don't just assume it's all beer and bratwurst, because it's not. Number 2, this is for my Americanish friends specifically, and that is do not be loud on the U-Bahn. I feel like Americans come over to Europe and don't really know how public transportation works in general, and you're used to holding the same volume in places like on the public transportation, but if you put yourself in other people's positions, like the U-Bahn is meant for going to work, going to places, and right after work, people just want silence. And so don't be loud on the U-Bahn. It's a very disrespectful thing to do. Just chill, read a book, enjoy the culture, be a part of the culture. Don't be loud, just go with it, bring your own book, get on your phone, but don't be the loud, boisterous tourist. And Germans will really appreciate that. And if you're talking loudly on the U-Bahn, you're definitely gonna get some German side eye, so you're welcome in advance. Number 3. Do not rely on your credit card. Germany is not a card culture at all. So most places that you go to, you will have to use cash unless you're going to grocery stores or fast food restaurants, or even if you go to a bit higher end restaurants, you will be able to use card, but for the most part, you're gonna need cash. Never ever get cash out from Euronet. Euronet is literally the worst thing a person could do, so don't go to Euronet, go to indoor banks only. Euronet will try to sell your soul, so definitely stay away from that. And just bring cash everywhere, just get used to it. You're not gonna be able to use your card, that's just how it is. This is something that really changes depending on which European country you're in. In Ireland, Sweden, Norway, they're all on the card train. Like, you can pay with your phone, you can pay with card, but Germany's just not on that train. So definitely have cash with you all the time, and it's just how it is. That's how things roll in Germany. Just go with it. Number 4, I'm speaking from personal experience. I made this mistake before I came to Germany, and that is, ladies, just don't bring heels. Just don't do it. There's cobblestone everywhere. And Germans have really managed to make the whole streetwear really fashionable. And I think part of it is also because you really can't wear heels on the street. It's just cobblestone. You're gonna twist your ankle. It's a hazard. Just don't wear heels. Don't bring heels. Bring some nice sneakers and you'll thank me later. All right, number 5 is you should not walk into a person's house with your shoes on. The host will let you know if you're allowed to take your shoes off or keep them on. If it's a good host, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's a good host, they should tell you you don't have to take your shoes off. But my rule with them is I always just take my shoes off because 1, it shows respect for somebody's house, and 2, it's unhygienic to be wearing your shoes all over the house, tracking in mud, dirt, dog poop. No, I understand this so much. This is something I have changed in my own life. Before I started traveling Europe, I would always wear my shoes in the house, and now I don't because it's honestly, it's disgusting. So just take your shoes off. You don't need shoes inside a house anyways. All right, number 6 is just figure out public transportation. Seriously, in Germany, it's super easy to figure out. You can pretty much get to any street with any type of mode of transportation. I really recommend you figure this out because taxis are just expensive and not worth it in my opinion. So just figure out public transportation. You'll save a lot of money, and it's just the way of the people. Just do what the Romans do. Number 7, this is huge. Okay, I am not innocent on this one. Disclaimer, I'm not. And that is to obey the pedestrian lights. If it says no walking, if it's red, just stop. If it's green, go. If you walk on a red, you will seriously get some German eyes on you. You'll get the German side eye. So just take my advice and just wait for green to go. Red, chill. And Germany is just one of those countries that take that a little bit more seriously than other countries. So better safe than sorry. Number 8. I'm indifferent about this one. I say at the end of the day, you do you. Do what makes you feel comfortable. But if you wear athletic clothes in public, it's very obvious which country you come from. I'm here in Thailand right now, and actually quite a lot of people wear athletic clothes just out like we do in America, but it's not common in Europe. So if you don't want to stand out, don't wear athletic clothes out in public. If you feel comfortable and still want to do it, you do you. You are who you are. 9 is don't leave without trying Deutsche Brot. It is the most lecker thing ever that you'll ever have in this world. And seriously, guys, I never had it. Like, the first time I came to Germany, I didn't really know that bread was the big thing in Germany, and I didn't even eat it at all. And the second time I came around, I learned. I really did. And I ate a lot of bread, and I gained a lot of weight. But it's seriously super delicious. So I definitely recommend trying out the brat. They're so proud of it. And eat it for the first time from a bakery rather than going to the grocery store, because there's just nothing like fresh, hot bread. So good. With just like a dab of butter. Really good. Number 10. I'm ending this on a kind of serious note just because it's crazy to me that I even have to say this. It really just baffles me. but don't make Nazi jokes. Why would you even do that? Like, I seriously don't understand people's insincerity towards this. I think that people don't realize how recent this war was. It wasn't that long ago. Like, people are still bearing the consequences and suffering from this horrific event. And Germany has come a long way from the Nazi era to really prove themselves otherwise. So making Nazi jokes and bringing up the past like that is just very, very disrespectful. So just don't do it. But I do really recommend, like, if you become friends with any of the locals, ask them a bit about what their history was with it, how their family was, when you get to know them well enough, because it is really fascinating. And Germany did a really good job of teaching my generation about the war, and about how horrible it was. So they're very aware of it and they don't live in ignorance. So that's Alice, that's my list. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all have any video recommendations, definitely comment them down below. I'm now uploading twice a week instead of one time a week, so I would really appreciate any suggestions, recommendations, hair changes. Just kidding. My hair won't change. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all on Friday. Cheers!
On to Jaipur.
Approximately 10 hours later.
So it is now the next 24 hours from us taking off. A lot of stuff happened yesterday. We were in the Delhi airport literally all day because of incompetence and delays. So sadly, our Jaipur trip has been shortened by an entire day. They wasted an entire day of our trip. But we are here and we are excited, and let's get the day started.
Kachori? Kachori. And what is it? It's I know, but what is what's kachori? This is kachori, Corbin. Right in front of your face, Corbin. What's in it?
There's some lentils. So crushed lentils which are spicy. They've been stuffed in chickpea flour and fried. He's making one like this.
Okay. And you just tear it apart, grab it and eat it?
Just like break it and eat it.
Break it and eat it.
So, and just dip it in the sauce a little bit. There you go. There you go. It's like tangy, spicy, and it's the local shit.
There's a little bit of a...
You got it. You got it.
There's a little bit of a sweetness in it that reminds me of the breakfast we had in Amritsar. Oh yeah, this has a little heat on it. Where's Corbin? How you doing, man? You doing okay? That'll wake you up in the morning. delicious. Like the flavor, like everything else is really good. It's just, whoa, it's spicy. Breakfasts everywhere. Delhi, Amritsar, Jaipur, breakfasts in India are the best breakfasts in the world. Absolutely fantastic.
I think Corbin's dead.
It's a little hot.
In the words of Corbin.
Holy hell, that makes it worse. It burns, doesn't it? It burns. That makes it worse.
It brings out more of the spice as you're drinking it. So
Yeah.
the spice you just ate, you drink this, and you're gonna go.
I'm aware. What's that say, Rick? It says, honk if you're horny. Come on now.
If you watch Bajirao Mastani again, you will recognize it.
Wow. Can you? The pictures do not do justice of how absolutely
It's all green in the mountains.
Wow. That is massive. No, yeah, like most things, like when we went to the Golden Temple, video and pictures don't do the things justice. After you do that, I want you to stand there. We are now inside the fort, outside in the courtyard area. Yeah,
You're inside the fort.
we're in the courtyard area, about to go in fully. This place is absolutely beautiful and massive.
Yep.
Insane. The views are crazy.
Oh, everywhere you turn, there's something beautiful to see.
I can't see anybody's face in it. In the movie, Ranveer could see Deepika's face.
That was
In all of them.
Is that
She's none too impressed with my joke.
I am some of the police equipment inside.
Wow. High steps. Reminds me of Notre Dame. Whoops, sorry. Holy cow.
This is 100% authentic.
Authentic. We didn't hear anything you just said.
So it's Jagar Fort, right?
Right? Jagar Fort.
So yeah, so Jaigarh, it comes from Jai, which was the name of the king, Jai Singh.
Jai Singh the king.
So Jai Singh was the king, and Jai's city is Jaipur, because Pur basically is a...
Had no idea.
Yeah, is a suffix for city.
So that is what the name of it is. It's the king's, that king's city.
Correct. And
Wow.
Garh is the suffix for fort. So Jaigarh is Jai's
God,
fort.
we're so stupid.
You need to change Woodland Hills to like Corbin Hills.
Yes, of course.
So we are currently at Nahargarh Fort.
Nahargarh.
Uh,
Urbanize it.
There's it's insane. We're at the top of the hill right now, and I believe we are going to
straight ahead is
I'll show you the view, but we're going to the place in Rangda Basanti where Amir Khan did the drinking at the beginning of the movie, and we're going to recreate it because that's what we do.
When he was supposed to jump in the water, they filled this whole ship with mineral water. Like this,
specifically for the shot.
Are you Amir Khan or am I Amir Khan?
I'm Amir Khan.
Ah, fine.
No, you can be Amir Khan.
Don't pity me with your Amir Khan. I'm Amir Khan. So, thoughts on Jaipur so far?
Extraordinarily beautiful.
And unique.
And unique.
And
original.
Like the architecture of this city.
Exquisite.
I'm very upset that our trip here got cut very short.
But
because there's so much you can see.
We
but
got here.
Yeah.
We got here.
Because look at that.
What's up? But they'll give us a whole tour of the hotel now.
Can you turn on please? Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, honey.
So sweet.
You are beautiful. That's rude. And if you want to see what we think about the food, you need to go to OSR. Right, Corbin?
What?
If they want to know what we thought about the food,
Yeah.
they need to go to OSR.
Yeah, unsubscribe from this channel. Just go to ours.
Don't unsubscribe. Don't listen to him.
Because this food is juicy.
Okay, we are currently
at a gloriously beautiful.
How do you say it?
We're in Jaipur.
Rambagh Palace.
Rambagh Palace.
Rambagh Palace.
We're here for lunch, and it's beautiful. Holy cow! It is
Glorious
beautiful.
peacocks running around freely.
But we are having some authentic Rajasthani food. Okay.
Okay, so this is lal mas.
This is lal mas right here.
Yeah.
Which is
mutton.
like mutton.
Mutton.
Okay.
In red gravy. That is gatta curry.
Which?
Gatta curry.
Okay.
Chickpea dumplings.
Chickpea dumplings.
That's chicken
Chicken.
in red gravy.
Okay.
That's paneer.
Went straight to the middle.
Okay.
And this is garlic
I
naan.
got garlic naan, regular naan, and
Rumali roti.
you know I like bread.
Rumali roti.
And-
There's curd.
Is there a certain way to eat it, or do you just dig in?
Just dig in.
Just
Okay.
dig in. Just
I can eat it with naan. I can eat it with a spoon. I can eat it with whatever.
Carbonated.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, what are you gonna
So what
start
should we eat
with?
first? I'm going to the pepper since Corbin gave me his pepper.
And you can
Yeah.
tell me that I shouldn't eat it
I
right
want
after
the
you
big
eat it.
one with the stuffing in it. So
Have
let
it with the bed. Oh shit.
Oh, curry. Lots of curry.
And I shouldn't have eaten it.
Not hot yet at all.
I don't believe it.
It's not hot. It's tangy.
There's no hit. Tang. There's no heat.
I'm
It's
gonna
tang.
regret this. I'm gonna regret
There's no
this.
heat at all. Zero heat.
pure tanginess and curry.
Just no tang. It is. There's no heat.
There you
Oh,
go.
The mutton.
So straight up
Wait,
now.
hold on,
I think with the
fork or
bread.
with the naan?
With the naan.
So just like with the naan and just mix it with a fork.
You're having a Romani roti.
Break
You're
it.
having a no.
And this is what? This right here?
Yeah.
The mutton.
No, that's how you eat
Is it lean?
There we go.
Okay.
Holy hell.
I love mutton. Oh. COVID died.
No, it's good. It's not. It's actually getting worse. Hold on.
Yogurt.
Yogurt to the rescue.
Apparently I'm supposed to eat yogurt if it gets hot. So.
Why mutton hasn't gone off the charts in America, I don't know.
But the mutton was before it got too spicy.
The sauce, it's beautiful. The sauce beautifully complements the mutton. It's got some spice, super tender, and the mutton is tender. It doesn't overpower the flavor of the meat.
Yeah, the mutton is delicious. The spiciness is yep.
Yeah.
Paneer.
Okay, go for the paneer.
With just
Naan.
straight up
Everything with the
everything
naan.
with naan. Okay.
Yeah. You can try different naans though.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Paneer, naan.
Paneer.
Take it with the gravy.
Very nice.
You almost lost your eyeballs.
I love paneer.
That's
Once I
nice.
figured out paneer was in tofu, I fell
nice.
in love.
Most everybody in America, I think, that doesn't already know, thinks it's tofu because tofu's so popular.
It looks like tofu.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is delicious. There's no heat on that.
Katta
It's
curry.
good.
Ooh, it came with a stir this time. Thank you. And thank you, yes.
What?
Katta curry.
Gatta curry.
Gatta curry.
Gatta curry.
Yeah.
Gatande.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Govinda.
Holy, that kind of just coats their mouth, doesn't it? That is good. I like that one. No, not too spicy at all. It does have some, just for me, but it doesn't make me go. So that's good. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
What was that?
Your second bite of the lamb.
What was it?
Gatta curry.
What is that?
Chickpea flour. Chickpea dumplings. In yogurt sauce.
I'm saying it.
Gram flour.
Are you filming?
Yeah. That's delicious.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
What?
Indian food is straight up sensual. Straight up sensual.
Step away, and Johnny.
Chicken. Which is, what is it called properly? This dish? This part?
Tandoor murk, I think.
Tandoor murk?
Yeah.
Tandoori murk? What?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Egg.
Hey, Corbin.
Yes.
Easy with the quantity of the curry here, yeah?
Yeah.
What?
We don't want to be a dragon right now.
Easy with the quantity of the curry.
What do you mean?
Apparently it's hot.
What did I do?
Yeah. Just less
You're
of it.
taking a lot, and apparently it's hot.
Per bite.
Okay,
The
gotcha.
ratio of bread to curry.
Take it. Here we go.
Oh, I'm just waiting for this.
Every single one of these.
Don't feel it yet.
Good. That's your thing.
Yeah,
There's not much.
I don't
there's
feel
not
any
much heat or spice on that.
Maybe they were nice to me and decided to win easy on me. Yeah, that's delicious.
Oh.
And that's chicken, or is that, what is that?
Chicken.
That was chicken.
Ooh. Yeah. So
These are delicious.
I would say the paneer is my favorite, followed by these two, and this one was just too spicy.
Mutton, baby.
To have some nice pictures outside.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you say, we'll do.
Yeah, so let's go out
But
and
tell
take a
me
tour.
When you will back, then we'll
Can
get
you
your
make
drink.
nice vlog in the night as well? With no light?
Yeah,
As long as I have power.
Which you don't have.
Probably you have already heard it, according to CN Traveler, the top holiday destination for 2020 is Pakistan. I checked out the article and it said Pakistan is the ultimate adventure travel destination. But does it really deserve the title Best Travel Destination for next year? My honest opinion is yes, but I'm saying this with a heavy heart. I really want everybody to come and see Pakistan because this is a very, very special and underrated place. But I'm also afraid, because we all know what that means if mass tourism enters the country. I really hope that Pakistan's government doesn't prioritize to maximize the number of people who visit their country, but I really wish that their priority is to develop a sustainable and eco-friendly tourism instead of environmental destruction caused by mass tourism. When I come back to Pakistan in 10 years, I want to see the same beauty and I want to meet the same generous people like I did now. I don't want to come back and see an artificial copy of a Pakistan that once used to be. I think we should always be aware that tourism drastically supports a country's economy and that tourism makes new jobs to millions of people available. But the problem with mass tourism is that in fact it does not really support the local community. Who benefits from it? It's the big companies, the chain hotels and restaurants. All the places where tourists easily have access to, and mostly international big companies can provide that. And we all know that this automatically destroys a lot of things in a country. Loss of culture, pollution and destruction of the environment are just a few things of many to name. I'm very sure that tourism will boom in Pakistan soon, and I think that's great if everyone looks after their own footprint. Whether it's the tourist, the hotel, the tourism agency or the local. I've said it before and it's been said a million times. Pakistan is so amazing because of its people. They are really the most generous and honest people I've ever met in my life. So to come back to the question, does deserve Pakistan the title Best Travel Destination for next year? Yes, definitely. And I want everyone to see the real and beautiful Pakistan and experience the generosity of the Pakistani people, like I had the chance. I just hope that Pakistan and its visitors will keep the travel spirit there, respect the people, and keep the nature as beautiful as it is right now. I traveled to a few countries, but nobody opened their doors like this country did. I spoke to many travelers, and nobody felt so welcomed like the ones who traveled here.
Is language, and me being American, I grew up only speaking English. I took Spanish. I know enough to get by in like Spanish speaking countries, but I never took French, I never took German, I never took Italian. When I was thinking of going to Europe, I was kind of just assuming that people over there, they spoke English. Switzerland was the first and so far only place that I've had trouble speaking to people. As soon as we got off the plane, we got a taxi to our first hotel and we had trouble immediately communicating. Pretty much everyone spoke German there. Not a whole lot of French, not a whole lot of Italian, not a whole lot of Spanish. It was mostly all German. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm American, but I feel like English is the universal language now. That was just my ignorance. So if you are going there, make sure you know more than English. So my husband and I were in Switzerland for about 10 days. So that included weekends, obviously. So when we were driving around Thun on Sunday and it was time to eat, we realized, why is everything closed? Unless you went to like the tourist areas, there weren't any restaurants, the grocery stores were closed. Very hard to find food. The only place that we found food that was like not in the tourist area was like this Thai place, and we went in and sat down, looked at the menu, and it was like $30 for white rice and chicken. So we ended up driving around. Luckily, we found like this really tiny convenience store in a neighborhood, and we were able to get some like bananas and hot dogs, and that ended up being our one and only meal that day because grocery stores were all closed. Gas stations, like the gas pumps, obviously you could pay with your card, but you couldn't like go in and buy any snacks. So that was really, really odd for us. It was something that we were not expecting. Not only was food difficult to find on Sunday, everything was like slowed down and it was so mellow. Like you would sit down and you would absolutely just take your time. Pretty much every single time we went out to eat, we would have to wait for our check like 30 minutes after eating. And that's just not normal for us. Like we go somewhere and we're in and out within an hour because, you know, people are like shoving you out. I feel like they're always like rushing. Or have you ever sat down somewhere and they start clearing the table and you're like, I'm still eating. Like I'll be chewing my food. And yes, my plate is empty, but maybe there's sauce on it and bread and I want to like clean it up with bread, you know, and they take my plate and I'm like, I'm not done with that. In Switzerland, we did not have that problem. Our problem at restaurants were literally like, okay, when are we getting our check? Where did our person go? Which isn't a bad thing, but just know if you go there and you're going out for a quick meal, you're probably gonna be there a couple hours because there's no rush, which is so nice, so nice. So majority of the places that we've been, credit cards has been, you know, no problem to use. You can use it everywhere, pretty much. I mean, not obviously like on the Inca Trail or in the middle of nowhere, Iceland, but for the most part, you can use your card. In all the places that we've been so far, Switzerland has been the place that you need cash just for a meal. So we went to Switzerland, was that May? Yes, we went to Switzerland in May, and that's considered the shoulder season. It's not the tourist season, it's right after winter, right before summer, and prices were considered cheaper. It wasn't cheap, but it was cheaper. So I usually like to go during the shoulder season just because it's, in my opinion, better. But like when we went to Iceland during the shoulder season, we had an amazing time. But it is so different from the shoulder season in Switzerland. Like you especially saw why it was the shoulder season when going to Zermatt. When you think of Zermatt, you think of a ski resort. You think of a cute little village, and it's all like the businesses are all booming. There's so much to do there, and it's so clean, it's so pretty, it's a tourist place, you know, it's Zermatt, it's the Matterhorn. But when we went there, it was the shoulder season and there was construction everywhere. So many stores were closed. It was really sad almost. Like there wasn't a whole lot to do. A lot of trails were still like thawing, so you couldn't hike that much, but then the snow was also melting, so you could ski. There was like 2 bunny slopes open that still cost like $400. So some places the shoulder season is definitely worth it, like Iceland for example. But would I go back to Switzerland in May? So this kind of applies to everywhere that you go, but like hotels and restaurants are going to be more expensive than if you stay on the outskirts. Same applies to Switzerland. Interlaken is a very big popular place to go, and we stayed literally like 10 minutes away in this adorable town called Breens, and I have a blog post up on it. In the entirety of our trip to Switzerland, Breens was our favorite, because when you think of Switzerland you might think of like cute little log homes and like little sheep running around and like so tiny and cute. That is literally Breens. So if you're going to Switzerland, save some money, don't stay in the city, stay like 10 minutes out, and it's gonna be like half the price. And then we found that pretty much everywhere that we've been. One thing I was not expecting was just want to order water because it's healthier, it's cheap, it's usually free. Not in Switzerland, which is so surprising. The first time that we went to a restaurant, we ordered water, we got a check pack, and it was like $8. So like, holy crap! Water is more expensive than beer. Just get soda, get juice, don't get water. For some reason, water is so expensive. Definitely bring a water bottle, buy a water bottle, because there's also these really elaborate and beautiful fountains pretty much on every corner. Oh, and maybe this is just my personal preference, but I hate seltzer water. I hate bubble water, whatever, like the carbonated water. I think it's so freaking gross. Make sure that you know what kind of water you're ordering, because that is a very big thing, carbonated water in Switzerland. When going to Switzerland, a lot of people think about traveling by train. In my experience, traveling by train was the most expensive thing that we spent our money on. But we rented a car for like 5 days, and I think it was $117. I think it was so much more affordable than taking a train to one destination one way. So my last thing that I want to mention, Switzerland is just one of those places that it's like traveling back in time. We had to use skeleton keys everywhere. We pay cash everywhere. People were reading newspapers, like young people like me when we were on the train, like these group of girls like my age, they weren't on their phone. They were sitting there reading a newspaper. When was the last time you've ever seen that? Also, payphones. When you see a payphone in the US, you're like, oh my god, look, a payphone. There was one place that we went to and they had one of those like dial phones, you know, like, I'll insert a picture right here. But we saw that on the wall and I was like, do you think that works? Or do you think that's for decoration? We didn't go to a lot of hotels, we stayed in a lot of Airbnbs, but when we did go somewhere, we usually had to open the door with a skeleton key. Not a normal key, not a card, a skeleton key. And you never see that in the US, ever. That was my husband's like chosen souvenir. We went to a hardware store and he was like, I want to get a skeleton key. We ended up going into like the back room where they make the skeleton keys, like normal hardware stores. The employees were like so intrigued by our interest in keys. My husband ended up telling them like, oh, you never see this is so unique. And they're like, oh wow, that's really interesting. And to them, they were just like, oh, we have them for everything. That's so common here. And to us, we're just like, wow. Yes, it's expensive. The shoulder season may not be worth it. Cars are cheaper than trains. People are so friendly. Speak German. Get ready to like see newspapers and clean streets. And it was just like so beyond different. That's all I have to say. I hope this video was entertaining. It was informative. It was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in 3 days.